Is there a rule of thumb, let's say, where you could say that, maybe I take a Friday afternoon and look at my Rolodex, or I go back and look at, here's an old friend that I haven't spoken to, or here was a guy I met at a conference, didn't seem like it was a great conversation, but let me check it out. So two things. One is to find out that, like, is there some method would you suggest, or what have you seen that one can kind of try that as a way to begin? And second, have you come across any story, or like, can you think of where maybe a leader actually made this happen, and therefore at some point leverage that, whether it's within the company or even outside or something, yeah.
Sure. So I would like to say two things here, right? When it comes to how can this be done. So one, definitely you need to reach out to your old friends, right? So what you can do is for every weekend, or say for every alternative weekend, you can make a list of, say, 5 people whom you were in touch with earlier and you've lost touch. So you can, write their names, figure out their contacts. And as I said, in the age of social media, it's just not difficult. So figure out 5 people whom you would think that, it's not going to be difficult to connect, rather it's going to be something very exciting. And people who are absolutely not in touch, because those are the people who definitely would have had a very different social circle of their own. So the maximum benefit would lie in their social circle, because that's going to be very different from yours. So they're going to be all new people. There's going to be all new perspective. There's going to be all new knowledge. And maybe the person has moved out to a different industry altogether, which gives you not only a personal, benefit of reuniting with that particular person, not only the emotional benefit, but also certain, economic or say professional benefits flowing out from there. Second thing, which I would say you need to make sure is that usually when we move out, for like there are many people who would like to go for, networking events, and, would like to go for places, or would like to go for, interconnections, which are based on their own interests and their own habits. So if I like doing something, if there's a hobby that I have, I would usually, look out for people who have a similar hobby and would like to do something, with them. Usually what happens is that when you hang around with people who have similar habits, or who have similar values, or who have, similar hobbies or interests, you tend to create a echo chamber for yourself, because you are sitting with those people talking of the very same thing over and over again. So there is no new perspective that is coming out, which creates, as I said, an echo chamber for you, and you're not able to get anything fresh out of that. So you're investing your time, but not much is going to actually trickle down from that particular interaction. On the other hand, and this is a term which is called homophily. You should avoid having homophilic or homophobic, interactions. Rather, we should move out of this. We should rather look at certain groups or certain networking events where we feel that this is something where I don't think I fit in. And then you should try to fit in. Because it's not about fitting in. It's simply about getting something new. For that, definitely you need to step out of your comfort zone. It's not very comfortable, being in a group of people where you feel that this doesn't interest me. But then if your idea is not that, your idea is not limited to pursuing that particular activity of interest, it's much greater than that, then that is something that has to be in your mind. So you need to break that homophily somehow. Also, you need to make sure that who are you connecting with. So if you are in a particular organization, there are people like, influencers in your organization. So you need to make sure that you're connected with such people, because when you're connected with somebody who's an influencer, that person himself will have a number of different, groups that he would be connected to. So that person can actually act as a bridge and can connect you to different, departmental people or different departments. As you very rightly said that, it's not only about reaching out to people, but you also need to make sure who are you reaching out to. So when you are making this list for, say, an alternative weekend, you can also make sure that, the alternative weekend which remains. So say if today is Saturday, and, I think that next to next Saturday, I'm going to meet some old friend of mine. Next Saturday, what I can do is I can figure out somebody from my own, workplace, somebody who belongs to a different department. So for every weekend, you can have a different plan. For one Saturday, you can, reach out to somebody. You can simply ask them for a coffee, right? Somebody who works in your workplace, you've never had a chance to meet that person in person, or have not have, enough, opportunities of working with that person, you can simply ask them out, for a coffee, and you can share your experiences, see how his experiences are there, and you can share a number of things with each other, and definitely that will turn out into something good over time. So you can do this for one weekend for your workplace, and then for another weekend with some old friend of yours. So it could be a week tie and then followed by a dormant connection, and so basically the variety of connections that you're going to pool in then that ways is going to be much more diverse, and higher the diversity, more would be the incoming benefits.